for the toxic woman, when she says that she wants a man to check her, the toxic woman is saying, I need to be riled up. I need to be allowed to be riled up. I need to be allowed to disrespect you, but I need you to check me when I'm disrespecting you because I anticipate I'm going to disrespect you. And the only way I know that you love me is because you give me that energy back. But that's toxic, right? So when a toxic woman is saying, I need you to check me, that's essentially where it's coming from. She's so dysfunctional and dysregulated that she doesn't want to be regulated because that doesn't occur to her as healthy. She wants the love bombing because she's thinking, I'm so fly. Why wouldn't a man want to love bomb me? Is that love bombing, or do you really love me, right? That's what she's looking for. But a healthy woman is saying, I'm looking for us to be in a partnership, in union. And in order for that to be the case, we have the power of agreement. We have the power of unity. And the only way I'm going to know when I've stepped out of the bounds of our agreement is if you alert me. So that is what a healthy check is. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that in a relationship.
I think that she knows that she's toxic, and maybe she can't really get out of her toxic ways herself. So being in a relationship, she needs to have somebody to check her, meaning like, nah, that's not cool. You can't do that. Like, you can't talk to me this way. And she'll be like, okay.
That sounds like somebody who's trying to be reformed. Like, she's in process. Maybe she wants to become healthy. Because everybody's, some people can be in transition.
Oh.
An unhealthy person, that's on the grounds of like codependency. Codependency means, in order for me to be okay, I need you to be like me. I need you to do what I do. We can't have any gradient differences in our relationship, because the moment that you seem different, the moment that I can't do exactly what I want to do, and you're not doing exactly what I want to do. So if I need 1,000 hugs and 999, you tell me that's enough, I'm spazzing, right? And now I need you to contend with me. I need us to go to bat. That is somebody who does not allow for individuality within the context of a relationship. That's unhealthy. That's codependency. So when an unhealthy woman is saying, I need my man to check me, is what I'm saying is that she wants him to agree to her toxic level. She has no intention of transforming. She has no intention of being better. She just wants the combativeness, because that to her means she's getting attention. That to her means that she is loved, she is cared for. That means that she can get in his head.
There's also another way of checking, right? And I think, there's another, specifically speaking, type of woman that needs checking. Okay. And that's not the type of woman, she's not, toxic or not. I'm not going to put her in any category of toxic or healthy. She's just been so strong on her own. Mm-hmm. And nowadays, I'm a man, and I see a lot of men out here nowadays who are just weak ass men. And she can literally do whatever she wants to them. Mm-hmm. And she just wants a man who can actually stand his ground. Mm-hmm. She just wants a man who's unwavering. She just wants a man who can set boundaries. Even if she doesn't agree with them, she will try it out because he's unwavering of those boundaries, as long as it's not to her detriment. Right. She wants a man who's going to display strength. That's what I've always gathered from a woman who wants to be checked. Mm-hmm. Right? There are the toxic ones too, but the ones that want to be checked just wants a man who can display his strength, display the fact that he's a leader, because everybody wants to be a leader, and leadership is not just take my hand. And no, leadership, sometimes you got to push him in that direction. Mm-hmm. That's what a real leader is. Leadership sometimes is forceful. Mm-hmm. And sometimes a strong person needs to be forced, not in a crazy way, right, but it needs to be forced onto the right path. And that's what I gather when those women need checking. Because when she's too strong for that man, and she knows that she's like, I'm making a decision. It could be a business decision. It could be whatever. Mm-hmm. But she knows she's making a decision that she's unsure of. And the man, instead of saying, hey, what you should do is this, he's like, okay, cool, let's just go with the flow.
Right.
Right. And a lot of times that woman feels like she's the man now. And when she feels like she's the man, those are the women who yearn to be checked. Because they're like, I can't wait for a man to just be a man. And no matter how strong I am, I still need this man to be able to bring me down. Whether it be, in a polite way, a gentle way, or maybe a little bit more assertive way. She just wants that ability to be present, or attribute to be present. But no, I'm just saying that I study women, I know women, I learn women. You have to know a thing or a person or, a device so well that you can manipulate it to your benefit. The key is having regulation within yourself where you don't do it to their detriment. So, but the only way you can do that is if you actually know it. I know women. That's what I do. I love women. So I've been around women since I was like a little jit. You know what I'm saying?
So if the feminine is like, the Bible says the woman is the weaker vessel. And if I know, if my subconscious awareness, I know that I'm weaker, I'm gonna want to be drawn to strength. And the only way that if I know that something can manage or handle the weight of my purpose, the weight of my future, is to shake it a little bit, right? You gotta, feel me? Like if I know I'm gonna sit somewhere and I'm looking at it and I want to know if it's sturdy. If I know I have a table, I'm gonna put something on. I'm gonna test to see, is it gonna bend, bow, or break? So women will do that subconsciously. And the fact that you know that is healthy, because when most men experience that feminine testing, they get irritated by it. And as opposed to providing some reassurance and saying, hey, this is the plan, or this is the original agreement, remember? And remind her of that. They get frustrated, they get upset, and they're just like, yo, what's going on here? What's happening here? As opposed to just regrouping her, which would be the checking, right? Like all of these things are healthy, and the polarity of it is healthy. And it's also exercising him as well, right? Because it's causing him to be present, it's causing him to be aware, it's causing him to stay on the path that they're intending to beat.
But sometimes there's not a there's a point in time where it becomes overdone, right? And sometimes like testing, I definitely agree. We all need to get tested in school, you get tested in life, right? We all need to be tested. And my thing is, when you test too much, that just shows signs of, distrust. You don't trust the person that's you're, allowing to lead, or you don't trust that person, to teach. So what happens is it has to be done in moderation. And I personally feel like there's no moderation within anybody nowadays. But if you can test within moderation, then I think that's healthy. But when you're testing just to test consistently, because that's the only way you can gauge your situation, that's when you can unlock the frustrations of that man.
Well, that's the equivalent to me testing this table and putting something on it and then doing it over and over again. That's insane. That's not what I'm saying.
No, there's a lot of insane women.
There's a lot of when I see people like that, I just be like, they walk among us. That's my keyword.
They walk among us.
They walk among us.
They walkers.
Yes. They look healthy. They got good jobs. They make good money. They own some things. They got some assets. And yet something is not quite right. So they give off that, they're high functioning. Right? These are the high functioning. They walk among us. Be careful, y'all. Right? All the things that occur to someone as healthy, right? You can manage your life. But when it comes to interpersonal relationships and dynamics, they can't do it. When it comes to respecting boundaries, they're not capable. They are attractive as all get out, right? Like you cannot rely on somebody's looks. You cannot rely on somebody's wealth accumulation capacity. You have to rely on the power of agreement. If you're looking for marriage specifically, the power of agreement is the key. Agreement, unity, and harmony. And of the three, what's most important is agreement. So the reason why agreement is important is because if I'm checking this table, I'm trying to see if this table is strong or not. And we're going to have an agreement on how sturdy it is, right? Like the purpose of this table is to carry something, right? To hold on to something. And I want to know how far can I go? So I'm going to put until I know, okay, this is its limit. I'm not going to go past that. So I might make some arrangements. I'm going to take some things off. Once I've established in my mind and I understand its capacity and I work within those bounds, that's the power of agreement. Now we can agree. But if I'm going to constantly test something for the sake of testing and throw heavy things on it or mismanage it, right? Now we're talking about toxicity. That's what we're observing. And the only reason why we believe, right? Most people believe there's a lot of toxic relationships. That's not necessarily true. What it is that a lot of the healthy ones are minding their business. Every plane that has a safe landing does not make the news.